Welcome to Sony Creator to Creator. And done.
You gotta do that again.
Take number 7.
Did you literally
You love it. You love
Take
it.
3.
He loves it.
Do it again.
Take 7.
Is it everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, you can't deny that view.
Neil, it was exciting because this gave you an opportunity to direct one of the episodes. What did you learn from that? What was different from directing on the game side?
The actors in the video game are way nicer.
I was gonna say, I am never working with actors.
The biggest difference is that, you know, when we do this, the cinematic part of a video game, which is the closest to shooting a TV show or a film, in the volume where we capture the video game stuff, we have all the coverage, every angle, because we're capturing 3D data of their face, of their body, their voice. We could change their clothing, we could change the set, we could change the weather, all those things we could change after the fact. Not so much in live action. It's a,
Man, that sounds good.
Amazing.
it's a double-edged sword because
Right.
it's good, but it's like you have endless possibilities. On the TV show, that's pretty much what it's going to be. And then you say action, and then you hold your breath, and you're hoping all the pieces will come together. And they usually don't on the first or the second or sometimes the seventh.
He's like, I think that was fine on the first.
I was like, we got it on the first one.
Then when you do get it, it's this high.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, action.
The amount of mental endurance required to shoot a show, when it's cold on screen, it's cold. I mean, there's this, I just remember you walking, we're in deep snow, and the only thing we were missing that day was just a lot of wind. Out comes the big fan, and so we're blasting him in the face with this, like, this thing is blowing Arctic ice chips into his face, and he's
I
struggling.
think there was wind, natural wind. We just added
Just not
quite
enough.
a bit of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a brutal blizzard.
But I'm glad for all the suffering.
All of that helped. We had these physical locations. We had the real mountains, the real woods, the real river, the real snow. It was just like very little left to the imagination in terms of having to fake it. You dressed entire areas
Yes, we
of
did.
the downtown,
Yes, we
like Calgary and Edmonton, and
Pissed off all the residents.
But they were so polite about it.
Loved it.
they were really nice about
They
it.
said sorry to us.
A stretch of highway.
Oh yeah, that one.
Right, that was crazy.
But it was important to give you guys a real world to be in.
I will say it was such a cool feeling because I'm flying back and forth to like Naughty Dog, and then I come here, and like whenever I show back up in Canada, Craig's like, you gotta come check this out, come check this out. And he walks me over, and I was like, I'm standing in the game. I am standing in the game, and it's authentic, and you could touch it, and you could walk around it, and then seeing all like the extras. Again, the crew just loved the material so much. They poured so much of themselves into it, and they studied the game, like every tiny details of like the posters from like the Fedra posters were like exactly like the game.
Like, it's actually useful to have fans working on your show because they're watching like hawks. One of the things that was actually really encouraging was that the ones that were really like hardcore fans came to me and said, Joel and Ellie are perfect. Like they were, and I was like, okay.
Light on the reading, but it's got some interesting photos.
No. Put that back. That's not for kids.
How do you even walk around with that thing?
Please get rid of it.
Oh, why are these all stuck together?
Did you just try to bring, was there a certain part of yourself that you brought to these characters that, and that's probably your way into this, because there's something that's very familiar, but I think there's a nuance that you guys brought to it.
I think whenever like I approach a character anyway, I'm not consciously trying to do anything. As soon as I consciously try and bring certain parts of myself to a character, it just feels conceited and like unnatural to me. So it's just sort of, I think it's just a natural like merging of two people, and it helps when like I'm quite similar to Ellie, so that was helpful.
I am exactly like Joel. It's a
And that your knees hurt.
It's yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my back is
In
twerked.
terms of the twerk.
You said twerk? Yeah. Go on. Tell us about
Yeah, tell me about the twerking.
Twerk.
What you just did was not a twerk. It looked more like a back spasm.
It's a twerk. We could go with that.
I think I just spasmed to my back doing a little.
How old are you again?
36.
Gonna have to wear diapers soon.
Who says I don't already?
Part of what our job is as casting is to find people that don't have to work very hard to embody a character. So when we were looking for Joel, we knew we wanted somebody that projected a certain kind of strength, that kind of paternal energy, but also then underneath it, pain.
Your watch is broken.
And something in the eyes that was sort of undeniable. Now that's an interesting combination of somebody that can do terrible violence and can go into a red mist, but then also has just such a wellspring of emotion and humanity still. Had you heard of it or seen any of it? You got the script.
I just heard of you. It was a fascinating 24 hours. I don't know if you guys recall, where we met, talked, and then decided we would be doing this together. And I called my sister within this short window to tell her about this job that I wanted really badly. And she was in the car driving my nephews to school. And I was on speaker, and I didn't even know that they were in the car. And I was like, I'm having a conversation about this amazing job. It's based on a video game, actually, and it's called The
And that was it.
And then Bruno and Pedro were like, The Last of Us! You have to get this job! Mommy, pull over! You know, like,
Wow,
they lost their
voices.
they lost.
So
Yeah, they turned into demons.
I also think that's why fans are so protective of these characters, because
Yeah.
they've been those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've not just watched them, they've been.
And the replay factor on those games is extraordinarily high. So they have not just experienced it once or twice, but multiple times. And so there is an intimacy that they have with these characters. It's why I think that a lot of fans were nervous about the game being adapted at all. And I understand that.
Yeah.
I get nervous when I hear
We had
things.
the same nervousness.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good nervousness. It's good to be nervous. It means you care.
Don't move.
It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. Easy now. We're not sick.
PlayStation over the years has given Naughty Dog so much support and trust. The Last of Us was the first M-rated game Naughty Dog has ever made. We weren't known for making these kind of games, this kind of story. And from the initial pitch, you all were like, yes, let's do this. We support you 100%. These are big budget games, and to get this level of support, I think allowed us to create something like this that hopefully resonates with players and with viewers the way it's connected with us.
Do you remember how we, actually this would be a good story for you guys to know, how we announced it. This is the first time we announced the game to the world. It was 2011. And if you remember, it's, knowing Neil, he wanted to announce it in a different, interesting way rather than just releasing a trailer. So we did this really cool sort of, remember that tease thing we did?
I've seen it.
We had the tease.
It's cool.
We had this kind of post-apocalyptic tease where you just hear Joel talking about what he's been through, and then we had another one that just showed the cordyceps they're growing out of the ant.
Right.
Whoa.
And then no one knew it was a Naughty Dog game.
The
They
other one
didn't-
was the sound of the clickers. We just released a sound bite of the clickers. And then every day, as we got closer to the launch of the trailer, the website of PlayStation just got more overgrown. And no one had and it just drove everyone crazy.
They were just they knew there was a PlayStation game called Last of Us. They didn't know who was making it because we had just put out Uncharted 3, so they didn't expect it at all.
So good.
And then it had this huge impact when that trailer hit.
And, but it was great because it just shows ever since this game first came out, we've just been very provocative with how we promote it, talk about it. So it's just so reflective of what you guys are doing now.
This is our routine. Day and night, all we do is survive. It never lets up.
Did you have any idea when you were doing that it was going to be a thing that people would tattoo on their bodies and turn into an almost semi-religion?
No, I actually, throughout the entire production, I thought I was fumbling the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they'll never let me do this again.
Right.
This will be a one and done.
Sounds
And
really
I was like,
familiar.
Yeah.
and I was like, so I wanted to just be because I was working on my dream game. And I was like, I wanted to be satisfied by myself, but I thought it wouldn't be as big, and definitely wouldn't be as big as Uncharted, and then we'll just move on to something else.
I learned to trust people. I had to like trust that if you said I did a good job, I did a good job, and trust that you knew that what you were doing when you cast me, because like I had freaking, it was terrifying. I'm like, why did you, right, we had these conversations right up until the very end.
I told you.
And beyond.
I'm a genius, that's why.
Right. You can't beat yourself up all of those 200 days. There has to be an element
You
of
tried.
like,
You
right.
can. You really tried.
I know. So I had to learn to trust, because I trust you with my life.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Big mistake.